Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Reading Lamb. Today's another Top 5 Wednesday day, and as once again, the Goodreads link will be in the down bar below so you can check out other people's videos. This is one I'm going to be very interested in, seeing other people's ideas, because it's the top 5 list of rereads. And basically the way I can tabulate this was how many times I'd reread a book. Like some books I've lost count how many times I've reread them. But I know like certain ones I've read more than others. So I just kind of compiled in that. And some books, like I think the last two, some books I've only read twice and some I've read more. So I just put the ones that I really liked the second time because I have reread books. Sorry, this is really confusing. Anyway, I'm just going to jump into the list, starting with number 5 is Anne and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. So if you've watched some of my videos, you know I've had some problems with my local library. I constantly get fined for books I never even took out, and then they try to make me pay the fines. And it just got really annoying. But when I went back, like I had a little dip where I went back to the library, because I do miss going to the library, but I just don't want to deal with it. So basically I picked up this book because I wasn't sure about it, because I've talked about this before. The title and the cover is kind of cheesy. A lot of people have said that about the series, but so good. And I read it, I think, the March, and then I bought it in the summer, and I reread it. So I reread it twice in a very short amount of time, making it one of my best lists for rereads. And it's just a really good, like, lighthearted contemporary book. A lot of people love this series, so you probably know a lot about it by now if you have not read it yet. Number 4 goes to Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. This is another pretty popular book. I actually, like, the first time I read this, I really enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed it more so reading it the second time. The first time I read it was, I think, March 2013, and then I just reread it last month. And the ending, I've talked about this in my book review, but the ending wasn't as satisfying for me the first time when I read it. But this time, I liked it a little bit more, eased the pain. I talked about this kind of being reminiscent to, if you've watched Gilmore Girls, the ending, because they didn't know that the show was getting axed. The ending wasn't as satisfying the first time watching it, but it's more tolerable the second time. You kind of understand it, and I felt the same way about Eleanor Park. Number 3 goes to Dying to Know You by Aidan Chambers, and you guys know my love for this book if you've been on my channel and watching for a while. But I absolutely love this book, and I'm currently rereading it right now. If you watched my last video, you know that. And this will be the third time I reread it. The first time I read it was last December, near the end of December, like early January kind of ish. And this is the third time, I think, or the second time. The third time rereading it in less than a year. It's just so good. I absolutely love it. It's a really short read to read through. And yes, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is The Castaways by Elin Hildebrand, another book I'm picking up right after Dying to Know You by Aidan Chambers. And I absolutely love this book. I'm pretty sure it was either grade 8 or grade 9 was the first time I picked up this book. And I've read it basically every year and a half, I would say. I absolutely love this book. It's my favorite one of hers because it's the first one I read and the first one I fell in love with. And I just love reading this book. I think it's a great story. I don't know why I keep flicking the book, like my wrist goes, what? With the book. That was really random. But I did not know why I was doing that action. But anyway, really good to reread. And it's just, you know, something, I find books I read when I was like either in a time that I can remember, or if I read them like a long time ago, I find them more reminiscent because I can remember when I reread them. And number 1, I'll let you guys have a second to guess. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you probably know which book I'm going to mention, because I mention this in almost every one of my Top 5 Wednesdays. But Flawless by Sarah Shepard, and this is the second book in the Pretty Little Liars series. And the reason I've reread this more is because I originally picked this book up because the first book wasn't at the bookstore, so I just decided to start with the second book because that's what I did back then. I don't do that anymore though, but I read this book and then I read the first 4 and then I went back to the first one. So I've read this one actually the most. And I absolutely love this one because it's the one that clued me into the series and really piqued my interest and made me fall in love with the series. So yes, this has been my list of top 5 rereads. Definitely let me know if you guys have read any of the books I mentioned or what some of your rereads are. I'd be really interested in knowing. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!